Hare Krishna, good evening and welcome all of you all for our Saturday evening Bhagavatam class. So we are doing the Kunti Stuti, that is the first canto, 8th chapter. Kunti Stuti starts from the 18th verse. So we have completed verse number 21. So we will just take a fast recap of what we have done. So what did we read in the first 3-4 verses? किसी को याद है कुछ? नमस्ते पुरुषम तो आद्यम ईश्वरम प्रकृते परम लक्ष्यम सर्वभूतानाम अंतर्भविर अवस्थितम. What does this mean? She is paying her obeisances to Adi Purush. He is only Purusha. Rest everything is Prakriti. So she is saying is Adi Purusha. And usko. Achha, by the way, why so much of importance is given to Kunti Stuti, Bhishma Stuti? What is so unique? No, कहते हैं ना ये लोग तो. By the way, first question, Bhishma Pitama was a grahastha or a brahmachari? Brahmachari. Grahastha. एक can decide कर लो. grahastha. भीष्म ने अपना भीष्म को उसको नाम कैसे मिला? How did he get his name? भीष्म. Such a strong प्रतिज्ञा. तो उस हिसाब से तो जब उन्होंने प्रतिज्ञा लिया तो फूल बरसे ना उनके ऊपर. Flowers were showered on him. तो अगर यहाँ पे हमारे यहाँ भी काफ़ी लोग प्रतिज्ञा लेते हैं तो उनको फिर बारिश तो होनी चाहिए, फूलों की बारिश होती नहीं है.
It is not that sincere.
No, we can't say that. That would be wrong from our part. But please understand that as per Mahabharata, one who reads the Mahabharata, in between the lines, he will understand that Bhishma Pitama had just married that time. He had just married, and for a person who just marries, for him to take a pratigya of that austerity, मतलब इस लेवल तक का प्रतिज्ञा लेना कि भाई मैं आजीवन ब्रह्मचारी रहूंगा, जिस व्यक्ति ने अभी अभी शादी की. एंड व्हाट इज द प्रूफ? शादी किया है तो प्रूफ क्या है? तो व्हेन भीष्म पितामह डाइस, तो वहाँ पे लिखा गया है कि अगर आप, आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू ऑल आर फेमिलियर विद दिस अंतिम संस्कार, घर से अग्नि लेके जाते हैं. एक्चुअली व्हाट डज इट सिग्निफाई इज, हर कोई व्यक्ति जो गृहस्थ है वो उसको अग्निहोत्री करना होता है. देयर आर 5 सिंस विच एवरीवन डस. कौन सा 5 सिंस याद है किसी को? एवरी गृहस्थ डस. हाँ, कटनी एक उनसे बच्चा है. कट नहीं, इट इज मार्जनम. झाड़ू मारना इज मार्जनम. कूटनी, इट इज नॉट गटनी, इट इज कूटनी, पेसनी, चुल्ली. दीज आर ऑल वी आर पुटिंग फायर. आग लगाते हैं ना घर में, पहले ज़माने में तो लकड़े पे आग लगाता था, तो वो आग लगाने का जो प्रक्रिया है, दैट इज ऑल्सो क्रिएटिंग अ सिन, बिकॉज उस लकड़े में भी जीव जंतु हैं, वो भी मर जाते हैं. तो वो एक सिन हर गृहस्थ करता है. आई मीन दीज आर अनअवॉइडेबल. भगवान के लिए भोग बनाना भी है तो लकड़े को तो जलाना ही पड़ेगा. पानी गर्म करते हो, पानी में जीव है. पानी पीते हो तो उसमें जीव जंतु जाते हैं. देन जब पहले ज़माने पत्थर पे पीसते थे, मतलब उसको बोलते पेसनिंग. हाँ, तो उसमें भी जीव जंतु मरते थे. सो एट एवरी पॉइंट 5 सिंस ना, झाड़ू मार्जनम, उसमें भी जीव जंतु मरते हैं. सो दैट इज वाई सो मेनी रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस आर केप्ट फॉर गृहस्थ, कि भाई अगर आप ये सब करते हो तो इसमें आपका सिन होता ही है. तो इट इज कंपल्सरी फॉर एवरी गृहस्थ टू डू अग्निहोत्री. तो हर गृहस्थ के घर पे अग्निहोत्री होता था, मतलब यज्ञ होता था. 3 times in a day यज्ञ होता था. सो दिस इज ओनली एप्लीकेबल टू अ गृहस्थ, नॉट टू अ ब्रह्मचारी. तो गृहस्थ जब अग्निहोत्री करता है, उस अग्नि को कभी बुझने नहीं दिया जाता है. इट इज ऑलवेज बर्निंग, बिकॉज रोज करना है. तो वो अग्नि से ही उसको अंतिम संस्कार दिया जाता है. दैट इज वाई इफ यू सी अवर जनरल ट्रेडिशन इज, घर से क्यों अग्नि लेके जाते हैं? वहाँ लेके जाके वहीं पे चक्कर कर सकते हैं ना. Why you are taking? This is because this is what it signifies. And Mahabharata says, भीष्म पितामह को अग्नि उनके घर से, उनके अग्निहोत्री के अग्नि कुंड से निकाल के दिया गया था. So this comes. So it's all you have to read in between lines. If you read the lines, you will not get it. You have to read in between the lines. That is why Bhishma Pitama ka this thing is very important. That's why Kunti Maharani, why Bhishma Pitama, yeah, for any Acharya. What is so special about them? Why even tomorrow any of you all can write some stuti and say, I am Prabhuji, even I have written nice stuti. Please read my stuti. फिर बोलेगा राजेश स्तुति, जिगर स्तुति, समर स्तुति, ऐसा सब पब्लिकेशन ऑफिस में स्तुति प्रिंट हो जाएंगे. देन व्हाट मेक्स स्पेशल? ऑलवेज रिमेंबर देयर आर 3 अर्लियर आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड. व्हाट आर 3 थिंग्स आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड अर्लियर फॉर दैट. इन इसमें प्रार्थना में क्या रहती है? 3 चीजें. हाँ, आप लास्ट को पहले कैसे बोलते हो? Samprathnika, Daine Bodhika and Lalsamai. This is the first understanding. Now let's go to a higher level of understanding. When you go to any Acharya, what is Acharya ka speciality kya hai? First and foremost, Acharya are Kripamai. They are always, merciful. Now how they are merciful? अभी यहाँ पे हम लोग काफ़ी लोग हैं यहाँ पे भक्ति करते हैं, तो भक्ति कैसे करते हैं? अपने फायदे के लिए करते हैं. मेरा नैया पार हो जाना चाहिए, इसलिए चाहे तो दूसरे का नैया को डुबा दो थोड़ा पानी डाल के चलेगा, बट मेरी नैया पार होनी चाहिए. दैट्स अ एटीट्यूड और द फोकस ऑफ अ जनरल डिवोटी, वेयर ही सेज ओके, ही डजंट डू बैड टू अदर्स, बट ही इज नॉट मर्सीफुल. मर्सीफुल मीन्स व्हाट? Who takes pain himself and he goes and gives knowledge to others. This is the first quality of Acharya. Now, if you go and see all the 4 Sampradaya Acharyas, there is the first beginning. What are the 4 Sampradayas? कौन सा है?
Sri Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, Madhav
Gaudiya Sampradaya and
Rudra Sampradaya.
All these 4 Acharyas have gone out of the box. मतलब अपने राह से और बाहर जाकर उन्होंने सिखाया है. Acharyas give very nice example. How Sita Maiya is one of the Acharya of the Sri Sampradaya. उसको पता था ये लंका के लोग कभी सुधरेंगे नहीं, वो तो कभी आएंगे नहीं यहाँ पे भक्ति करने के लिए, रामचंद्र जी को सरेंडर नहीं होंगे, तो क्या करना चाहिए? I will go to Lanka. So she went. It's not that any Tom, Dick and Harry just carry Sita and go to Lanka. एक तो रावण को भ्रम हो गया था, कौन सा भगवान है? एक नकली हिरण भेजा और वो हर नकली हिरण के पीछे भाग गया, वो तो भगवान हो ही नहीं सकता है. He cannot be God. So he was more confident that he is not God. And Sita Maiya said, तू तो सुधरेगा नहीं, मैं आती हूँ वहाँ तुम लोग को सुधारने के लिए. So she went there. So this is the first quality of a Acharya. You take Srila Prabhupada. What was the need for him to go abroad to the Western country and stay hungry, eating just boiled potatoes and preach to them? That is the speciality of a Acharya. He is more merciful. हमेशा, एक बार एक साधु एक बिच्छू को पानी से निकाल रहे थे, तो बिच्छू जब भी पानी से उठाए, बिच्छू डंक मारे, वापस छोड़ दे पानी में, वापस उठाए, वापस डंक मारे. तो एक आदमी देख रहा था, बोल रहा है अरे पागल, छोड़ दे बिच्छू को, बार बार डंक मारते रहता है, बार बार डंक मारते रहता है, इसको क्यों बचा रहा है, छोड़ दे पानी में, डाल दे उसको. तो तुरंत वह साधु ने बोला, भाई ये उसका स्वभाव है, डंक मारना उसका स्वभाव है, बचाना मेरा स्वभाव. सो दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई वी हैव टू गिव सो मच ऑफ प्रायोरिटी टू Kunti Stuti, to Bhishma Stuti, or rather any Acharya's Stuti or prayers or anything. what makes it special? हमारे जनरल प्रेयर से वो स्पेशल क्यों है? बिकॉज उसमें they have got that merciful quality inside that. Second, they got three qualities. Second quality, she went there. After going there, when Ravana, I am giving an example so that you can understand the quality with that example. When Ravana went there to threaten her, तो we all remember the story. उसने घास का एक तिनका रखा था बीच में, and उसमें कई बड़ा एक्सप्लेनेशन है, कई सारे एक्सप्लेनेशन है. तो कहते हैं कि when Ravan tells her, मैं तुझे खा जाऊंगा, ये वो and all that, surrender to me. That time, the second quality of the Acharyas is, she says, if I want, with this blade of grass, I can kill you immediately. मैं अभी तुमको मार सकती हूँ, बट नहीं मारूंगी. क्यों? Then, what is the greatness of my Lord? Even when Hanuman comes in Sundarkand, when Hanuman comes and says, come on, sit on my shoulder, I will take you immediately to Ramchandraji. She says, no, I will not come. Why? She says, अगर मैंने वहाँ चली गई तो मेरा महानता नहीं बढ़ाना चाहिए, मुझे भगवान का महानता बढ़ाना है. That means what? An Acharya is always parantantra, not swatantra. He has to always be dependent on the greatness of the Lord rather than so-called आजकल के जो नए आचार्य आते हैं ना, जो अपने आप को ही भगवान कहते हैं और आखिर में एंड में कहाँ जाते हैं? जेल में जाते हैं. हाँ, भगवान जेल में पैदा हुआ, बाहर आ गए, और आजकल के भगवान जो हैं वो बाहर पैदा होते हैं और जेल में जाते हैं. सो दिस इज द सिचुएशन. सो इन कलियुगा दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम दैट दे ऑल थिंक दे आर इंडिपेंडेंट फ्रॉम गॉड और दे बिकम equal to God. This is a wrong. Third, for me, there is no one else other than God. Ananyatha. You see Kunti Stuti, you should be Bhishma Stuti, everywhere you will see Ananyatha. What is that Ananyatha? With respect to Sita Maya, I will give an example. When Vishwamitra Muni, Valmiki comes and tells, Rama, to whatever knowledge I have got and to whatever remembrance I have never done anything wrong. I have never done anything wrong. And I can proclaim that Sita is as pure as lotus. She is very pure. She is उसके अंदर कोई ये नहीं है. That is with respect to the Adobe stock. ये एंड का मैं लास्ट बात कर रहा हूँ. तब she says, I don't have to prove myself. For me, there is no other person other than Lord. That is the reason the earth parts and she goes inside the earth. That is what is Ananyata. So, basically we have to understand that this is the speciality of these Acharyas. So, Acharyas, whenever they are speaking, or rather, whenever there is a, explanation given by these senior devotees or foremost devotees, we have to understand, yes, this is for, they have got these qualities. That is why their Stuti is better than our Stuti. So, first and foremost, let this be very clear. Bhishma Pitamaha was a Grahastha, not a Brahmachari. But since being a Grahastha, being just married, he took the vow of Brahmacharya. That is why flowers fell on him. Otherwise, so many are going around, no flowers are falling on them. First and foremost. By the way, which devotees are better? Brahmacharya or Grahastha? Who are superior? Grahastha. Yes, Rajesh Prabhu, what do you think? Why you are a Grahastha, that's why. Grahastha or Brahmachari?
Grahastha Brahmachari, तो कोई है नहीं, devotee should be better. Whether he is a Grahastha or Brahmachari.
Who is still better? God gives an answer to this. I will give an explanation to that also.
Because before yesterday's lecture, Ramru Prabhu said that in one of the shlokas, Krishna is saying that you have to Brahmachari not in terms of the brahmachari, but we understand. But brahmachari in terms of devotion, that brahmachari we should be.
What is that? In respect to devotion, what brahmacharya is?
Brahmachari means वो जो व्रत पालन करते हैं पूरा as per the scriptures.
हाँ.
Whatever we follow.
हाँ.
We have to follow the scriptures basically. And
वो तो that is unavoidable for any. That is whether be it be a thing. The dharma is different, but the dharmas are different. But as per Shastra, there is a Shastri explanation to that also. We'll discuss that also. Yes, Prabhu.
I would say grahasthas are better because grahasthas होंगे तो brahmachari होंगे.
Very nice.
And secondly,
Very good.
grahasthas can create brahmacharis, brahmacharis can create grahasthas.
Okay, fine. Okay, Narad Muni and Daksha Prajapati story. Very good. ठीक है. Something else? Yes. Would like to add? Would like to add? Confusion. That's why only orange top, white bottom. Rajesh wants to play safe. Huh? Okay, Shastra says a very nice explanation. All acharyas, so to say, on a big bracket. See, that's nowhere we are trying to say some brahmacharyas are lower or grahas are superior. But Shastra says two things. Or acharyas, it's not even Shastras, acharyas who comment very nicely, stating that a grahastha is it is more difficult to do devotion in the being in grahastha ashram than in being in brahmacharya ashram. Now how is it? Abhi, for example, Raj Prabhu, tomorrow you take up Kamandalu and Kopin and said, hell with the world, I want to leave everything, and मैं एक साधु बन जाता हूँ या एक ब्रह्मचारी बन जाता हूँ और भक्ति करता हूँ. Then what responsibility lies on your shoulder other than doing devotion? Zero. Whereas when a grahastha becomes a devotee, for him he has to take care of his house, he has to take care of his family, what of his work or business, job, whatever he is doing, that and in spite of all this, he has to take care of three varnas. As per Shastra, Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha and Sannyas all depend on whom? Grahastha. There's a nice story. Once Narad Muni came and asked Vishnu. There was an argument when Amrish Maharaj was being praised. See, it's not that since I am in Grahastha Ashram, I am praising Grahastha Ashram, or if someone is in Brahmacharya Ashram, he praises Brahmacharya. This is what Shastric evidence is. Amrish Maharaj was being praised by Lord Vishnu. What a devotee. Superb. In Bhagavatam, there's a beautiful verse. Hands he used to use only for cleaning the Lord, eyes he used to use for only seeing the Lord, ears he used to use only for listening to the music of the Lord, mouth he used to only chant the holy name, and legs he used to use only to walk for the temple, not for anything else. So इतना अच्छा वर्णन किया था उसके बारे में. तब when Vishnu is praising about Amrish Maharaj, Narad Muni को थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स आ जाता है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग इन्फीरियरिटी बट कॉम्प्लेक्स आ जाता है. ही सेज मैं पूरा दिन 24 घंटा नारायण 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 कर रहा हूँ. एंड भागवतम क्लियरली स्टेट्स दैट अमरीश महाराज हैड मेनी वाइफ्स, नॉट वाइफ, किंग तो काफ़ी सारे रानियाँ थी, एंड ही हैड लॉट ऑफ पैलेसेस. एंड राजा मतलब डेफिनेटली वो एकदम पत्तल में बैठ के तो खाएगा नहीं, मतलब सोने की थाली, चांदी का बिस्तर, दिस एंड दैट, आई मीन ऑल द ऑपुलेंसेस ऑफ अ किंग. हियर आई एम वेयरिंग वन लॉइन क्लॉथ एंड एवरीवेयर रोमिंग अराउंड नारायण 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 कर रहा हूँ, एंड यू आर सेइंग ही इज बेटर. एक्सप्लेन टू हिम, विष्णु गिव्स हिम स्मॉल, he tells okay, very nice, you are chanting my name every time, always 24 घंटा आप मेरा ही नाम ले रहे हो, बहुत अच्छा है. एक काम करो, आपको मेरा एक काम करना पड़ेगा. मतलब क्या करना? देखो ये दिस वन फुल पॉट ऑफ नेक्टर, दोन ऑफ नेक्टर दिया है वो, एक बूंद भी नीचे गिरना नहीं चाहिए. गो एंड डू वन परिक्रमा ऑफ वैकुंठ एंड कम. बट कंडीशन, अगर एक भी बूंद नीचे गिरा तो मेरा सुदर्शन चक्र पीछे आ रहा है. मेरा सुदर्शन तुमको यातना देगा, मारेगा नहीं. ऑफ कोर्स डेफिनेटली योर स्पेसमैन, आई विल नॉट किल यू, बट वो तुमको तकलीफ जरूर देगा. ठीक है. महाराज मुनि से व्हाट्स सो ग्रेट अबाउट इट, आई विल डू इट, सिंपल. So he took that pot of that drone of Amrit. Very carefully he went around and he came back without spilling one drop. And he came back and he told, "Dekho, Lord Vishnu, as you had promised you, and you had instructed me, I have not put one drop of nectar down." वो तो मालूम पड़ रहा है, सुदर्शन इज ऑल्सो लैंडिंग लाइक दैट. तो अभी तक तो तुमको यातना देता था. बट टेल मी वन थिंग, इसने बार इतने टाइम में कितनी बार मेरा नाम लिया आपने? आपका नाम कैसे लूँ? आपका इंस्ट्रक्शन तो था ना, एक बूंद भी नहीं गिरना चाहिए. सो आई वॉज सिंसियरली फॉलोइंग इंस्ट्रक्शन. जस्ट वन द्रोणा, वन टाइम यू हैव टू गो, दैट टाइम यू कुड नॉट टेक माई नेम. अ गृहस्था like Amrish Maharaj, not like you and me. Sorry, we don't, please, let's not compare ourselves with Amrish Maharaj. But a grahastha, being a king, being involved in all worldly opulence and worldly pleasure, what was he doing? He was doing the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this what makes a devotee supreme. Again, I'm not going to end in debate saying that brahmachari is better or grahastha is better. Grahastha means we are not grahasthas, we are grahmedis, we are not grahasthas. Bhagavatam clearly says we are only interested in eating, sleeping, mating, and those all benefits of grahastha life, but not dedicating our life fully for devotion. But if however a person sticks to grahastha life as per the shastra, but at the same time does devotion, it is far more superior than one person who is renouncing everything and trying to do devotional service. This is what said by Acharyas. So okay, now let's come to our Kunti Stuti. So the first verse, she has already described Lord as Adi Purusha, and she is saying that you are situated everywhere, inside and outside. Then Maya Javanika Channam, she says, you are covered by a parda, what do you say? A curtain of Maya. By curtain of Maya, you cover yourself. And that is why everyone can see you act like a dramatist. You are acting like a dramatist. और किसी को समझ में नहीं आता. किसी को समझ में नहीं आता how you are doing everything, but you do everything. Calculatively you do everything. And the mudha matlab fool. Now who is the fool over here? Tomorrow it's very important, don't miss, because tomorrow I will be discussing about the 7 questions discussed between Garudaji and Tagbhushan ji. This is from Uttar Ramayana of Ramcharitmanas. Ramcharitmanas Uttar mein aata hai. So there is a conversation which discussed very nicely, that I will discuss tomorrow's class. So I am not going in detail about that mudha right now, because wapas I will be discussing it late in detail about that in the tomorrow's lecture. Yeah. Tata Paramahamsanam Munir Amala Atmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidanartham Katam Pashyame Sriyah. So first and foremost, Tata Paramahamsanam, this is for Paramahamsas. You descend on this earth, you come to this earth for what? For propagating devotional service and for enlivening the hearts of Paramahamsas. Great translators का आप मन बढ़ाने के लिए, and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. That is what is Paramahamsa. Paramahamsa means one who can discriminate between matter and spirit. And how can a woman understand this? Now here, just now I explained about Kunti Maharani's greatness. Why Kunti Stuti is so great? मैंने अभी आपको explain किया. But who is she? She is saying, Katham Pashyame Sriya. How can a lady see? This is her modesty. This is her modesty. She is able to. She is so elevated that she is trying to just show herself as, नहीं मैं नहीं देख पाती हूँ. How can a person like me, who is just a lady? Here, ladies are not trying to be downgraded. Actually, ladies are far superior. If you see, only in Sanatan Dharma, you got a list of Devis. Right from Lakshmi Devi, Parvati, Sita, Sati, this, that, so many Devis are there. Durga, Katyayani and all that. Which other religion has got Devis? कौन सा दूसरे धर्म में है? Do you have in Christianity? Do you have in Muslim thing? And they are talking about, they give comments on our Devis and Devatas. That is a tragedy. Those people who don't have any lady goddesses or goddesses in their system, they talk about all this. Whereas here it is not trying to downgrade a lady. Here what is Kunti Maharani is trying to tell us? जो व्यक्ति लिप्त, we are all prakriti. I have already discussed that earlier. We are all prakriti, and there is only one Purusha. Here we keep on changing our bodies. Sometime a male body, sometime a female body. So who can we call as lady? How many times I have taken a female body and how many times I have taken a male body? Can anyone tell? It applies to everyone, right? So now, why I am a male or female? For this birth, I may be as a soul, I may be housed in a male body. But in the next birth, I may be housed in a female body. So how can I call myself male or female? We are all Prakriti. We are all, our job is to serve the Supreme Lord, who is the Parama Purusha. We are all Prakriti. So here there is no question of saying that ladies are inferior. Ladies are much, much superior as per the Shastra. As per our Sanatana Dharma and Shastra, ladies are much superior. So here only thing is generally said by Acharyas that any person, immaterial of whether he is in a male body or a female body, if he is in too much of sense gratification, खूब बहुत ज़्यादा इंद्रिय तृप्ति करना चाहता है, वो व्यक्ति को लोअर ग्रेड ही समझा जाता है, नॉट हाई ग्रेड समझा जाता है. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंद गोप कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. That verse we discussed that let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances to the Lord who has become the son of Vasudeva. What does this mean? भगवान ने कृपा करके उनका पुत्र बना. हम लोग के घर पे प्रहलाद क्यों नहीं आ रहे? क्योंकि हम खुद नहीं, अच्छे प्रभु जी हम लोग अच्छे हिरण्यकशिपु नहीं बने, इसके लिए हमारे घर पे प्रहलाद नहीं आ रहा है. No, it's not that way. The question is, the point is, you have to understand that कितना भक्ति किया होगा वासुदेव और देवकी ने to have the supreme personality of Godhead as their son. That is why Lord has named here as वासुदेव नंदन, देवकी नंदन. मतलब उन्होंने अपना नाम भी माँ बाप को दे दिया, इतना ग्लोरीफाई कर दिया उन्होंने अपने माता पिता को. So she says, and you are born as a small other cowherd men also in Vrindavan, and you have enlived the cows and senses. So today we have to discuss this. Namo pankaj nabhaya, namo pankaj maline, namo pankaj netraya, brahmasya pankajangraya. Now let's read the translation. Someone reads the translation.
My respectful obeisance are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with the lotuses.
So whenever you see, whether it be Krishna avatar or Ram avatar, generally दोनों पे इतना विस्तार है, बाकी सब अवतारों का एकदम संक्षेप में है. No much to be discussed, but wherever we discuss about Ramchandra ji or about Krishna Bhagwan, it has been always mentioned his eyes are like lotus. Here two things have to be understood in this verse. First and foremost, why is Kunti Maharani comparing Lord with the lotus? Namo pankaj nabhaya. And what is happening in Garbhodakshaya Vishnu?
Lotus is coming out.
Namo Pankaja Nabhaya. So she is actually praising Lord Krishna as Lord, you are not just lotus, your Nabhi is not just looking like lotus. Your lotus is coming out of your Nabhi. That is why you are the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Second, inside the lotus is the entire 14 planetary system. और उसके ऊपर कौन बैठे हैं? ब्रह्मा जी बैठे हैं. Then she says, Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, Namo Pankaja Maline, Namo Pankaja Maline, Mala. Now what is that Mala referring to? First and foremost, if you read the Bhagavatam in detail, when you go in the further chapters, you will see that Lord always wear a Vaijayanti Mala, and how the bumblebees are moving around the Vaijayanti Mala. And Vaijayanti Mala, always I explained to you, 5 smelling flowers. That makes Vaijayanti Mala. But here, she is talking, Kunti Maharani is talking about, for the Lord, it is like one lotus coming out from the Nabhi, millions and trillions of Brahmanda are coming out. So each Brahmanda is having a one lotus. Namo Pankaja Maline. So आपने सारे लोटस को आपके, यह doesn't mean जो दलदल में टूटता हुआ कमल का बात नहीं हो रहा है. यहाँ पे we are talking about the kamal of the Lord's, from the navel of the Lord, what is coming. So he says, she is saying, Lord, you are wearing all the kamala of all the universes as you are holding like a mala. Lord says the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Mata Paratram Nanya Kinchit Asit Dhananjaya, Mai Sarvam Idam Proktam Sutre Managani. What says, what is that? जितने मणि हैं, जैसे कोई हार, अगर कोई हार पहना हो तो हार में मणि टिके कैसे हैं? धागे से. मगर दिखता है नहीं. बट अगर धागा कट हो गया पूरे मणि बिखर जाते हैं. सो लॉर्ड सेज, आई एम इनविजिबल, आई एम होल्डिंग ऑल द beads in one place. It is because of me. Dharayamaham ojasa. Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am holding all the planets. People, scientists say, hey, planets are just turned by gravitational force. Now, who the grandfather brought the gravitational force? From where did you get the gravitational force? It is held by gravity, fine. But if there is a force, there must be some creator. If there is a creation, there is a creator. Who has created that force? Oh, हमको मालूम नहीं. That we are not going to accept. We know it is because only gravitation is falling. It is just, it's holding, the planets are holding itself and it is automatically rotating. Kuch bhi. So please understand that everything is held in place by the Lord Himself. Every अणु, विश्व के हर अणु में बैठे, भगवान विश्व के हर अणु में है. ये जिस दिन आप देख पाओगे everywhere, that day you can say that your devotion is complete success. Till then your devotion is not success, because till then what we are doing? We are searching inside the framework of deity. It's not that Lord is not there inside the deity. He is very much there. But what is the meaning of Vishnu? हर अणु में है. अगर ये चेयर यहाँ खड़ी है, अगर भगवान ने अगर अपना पावर निकाल दिया है, चेयर भी गिर जाएगा. Everything will fall down from its place. So not only the planets, everything is held because of Lord's energy. We say chemicals are dead, but when two chemicals are added, how come they react? That means there is something, some energy is there inside that. Alive or dead का मैं बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. We are, science defines us as live and dead. But if it was dead matter, how can hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid react with something and you can get a foam? That's an exothermic or endothermic reaction. Whatever happens, there is a reaction which happens. How is it happening? That is all because there is some energy in it. Now we may say, no, hydrogen ion concentration is too high, the hydrogen concentration is too low. No, that is what the pH is. What is the definition of pH? Hydrogen ion concentration in anything defines the pH. If it is more, it is less, then we say acid or alkaline. It's all scientific science. Nice, good. I am not saying science is not bad. Today science is advanced so very much that today for us to survive, if science had not advanced, survival would have been difficult. But There is something more powerful than science, and that is the science of God. So that is why she is saying, Namo Pankaj Nabhaya, Namo Pankaj Malini. तुम सारे यूनिवर्स को एक माला बना के गले में लटका के घूम रहे हो. अच्छा, tell me, if someone is wearing a mala, you find it very heavy. Oh, how will I wear this? No, more casual. The Lord is also casual. सारे यूनिवर्स संभाले हुए हैं, but for him he is not having, oh, it's very heavy, it's very tiring. Oh, it's cool. He is moving around cool. All ladies are wearing necklaces. Are they, it's very heavy, निकाल देता हूँ ना, fine. और 2-4 लगाने को तैयार है ना? और 2-4 डाल के घूमने को तैयार है. So that's how it is. The Lord, He can, it has all the universes just come as the lotus. So Namo Pankaja Maline, Namo Pankaja Netraya. Now Namo Pankaj Netraya. Now what does this signify? Now, how many of you have seen Jagannath Ji's eyes? Pinkish, roses, reddish, right? So that is how Lord's eyes are, like lotus petals. Even Ramchandra Ji's eyes, lotus petals. In fact, Ramchandra Ji was so beautiful. When Surpanaka went and told Khara and Dushan, मेरा नाक काट दिया भैया, कुछ एक्शन करो. तो 14,000 Rakshasas went to kill. But when Khara saw him, he said, "You are so nice. I feel like looking at you. You are my enemy. I will not kill you. I will not kill you. I will capture you. I will capture you. तुमको बंदी बना के लेके जाता हूँ, तुमको देखते रहूँगा." That's Lord's. That is why Krishna. What is the meaning of Krishna? जो आकर्षित करता है, attracts anyone. Everyone was attracted to Krishna, be it be Asura or be it be a Sura. Everyone is attracted towards God. So that's why she says, Namo Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangre. Now what does this Pankajangre means? Lotus feet. That's why we always say, at your lotus feet, आपके चरण कमलों पे, चरण कमल बोलते हैं ना, आपके चरण कमलों पे. So she says, Namaste Pankajangre, your lotus feet. One, यहाँ पे उपमा हुई लोटस के साथ. ये comparison was with lotus. Nabha, mala, eyes. So Lord is like fully lotus. Second, lotus means very tender, very soft. Lotus means uncontaminated. That is why Lord says, even if you dip a lotus in water and you take it out, water rolls on the leaf of lotus, but will never wetten or penetrate the leaf. So that means Lord, being in this material world, is always aloof from this material world. We are always contaminated with the 3 modes of material nature, but Lord is never contaminated with the 3 modes of material nature. One more important thing is there in this verse. Now Kunti Maharani है बुआ, मगर भगवान कृष्ण है, जो भी है भगवान है. She has to start with the feet, but now it is her, what do you say, एक बोलते हैं ना, एक restrictions है उसके अंदर, एक she can't start directly. She is elderly lady and Krishna is small young boy. सामने कुछ भी बोलो, आज कई बार कई लोग बोलते हैं यार मेरे सामने पैदा हुआ, मेरे सामने बड़ा हुआ, आज तू क्या बड़ा आदमी बन गया, बड़ा रहेगा ACP DCP जो भी रहेगा, या बड़ा मंत्री रहेगा, या जो भी ऑफिस में बड़ा ओहदे पे रहेगा, मेरे सामने तो तू चड्डी में घूमता था, दिस एंड दैट. Krishna was also like that. So immediately she doesn't start with the feet. She starts with the nabhi, then with the neck, then with the eyes, and finally ends with the. This is how this verse has to be understood. This verse cannot be Namo Pankaj. Okay, meaning may be very clear. You are wearing a lotus mala. Yes, true, very much true. But what does that lotus mala refer to? What does it mean? This is how it has to be understood. Yes, somebody read the purport. कौन पढ़ रहा है? आदर्श पढ़ो जोर से. (22)
Here are some of the specific symbolical marks on the spiritual body of the personality of Godhead, which distinguishes his body from the bodies of all others. They are all special features of the body of the Lord. The Lord may appear as
Yes,
one of
Srila Prabhupada is explaining very nicely over here that we have all got smelling bodies, awfully smelling bodies. But what is Lord's body made of? It is made of lotus. Lotus means, you have ever seen lotus smelling bad, awful? Always smells nice. So here, second distinguishing mark is Lord's everything is Adhara Madhuram, Vadana Madhuram. You know, Madhurashtakam prayers is there, where Lord का एक अंग के बारे में everything is मधुर. And हम लोग को ब्यूटी पार्लर जाना पड़ता है, बिकॉज हम लोग एकदम मधुर नहीं है हम लोग, वी आर ऑपोजिट. So to make every part of our body, you have to go to the hair spa, face spa, body spa, whatever it is, we have to do and do everything. So this is what is the difference between the Supreme Lord and us. Lord is always, auspicious. Everything about Lord is auspicious. Lord himself is auspicious. And everything about us is very, very mundane and bad. Please continue.
The Lord may appear as one of us, but he is always distinct by his specific bodily features. Srimati Kunti claims herself unfit to see the Lord because of her being a woman. This is claimed because women, Shudras, the laborer class, and the
Dvijabandhus
or the rest descendants of the higher three classes are unfit by intelligence to understand transcendental subjects matter concerning the spiritual name, fame, attributes, forms, etc. of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Such persons, although they are unfit to enter into the spiritual affairs of the Lord, can see him as the Archa Vigraha who descends the material world just to distribute favors to the fallen souls, including the above mentioned women, Shudras and Dvajapandhus. Because such fallen souls cannot see anything beyond matter, the Lord condescends to enter into each and every one of the innumerable universes as the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, who grows a lotus stem from the lotus-like depression in the center of his transcendental abdomen, and thus Brahma, the first living being in the universe, is born. Therefore, the Lord is known as the Pankajanavi. The Pankajanavi Lord accepts the Archa Vigraha, his transcendental form, in different elements, namely a form within the mind, a form made of wood, a form made of earth, a form made of metal, a form made of jewel, a form made of paint, a form drawn on sand, etc. All such forms of the Lord are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, and there should be a soothing atmosphere in the temple of worship to attract the burning attention of the non-devotees, always engaged in material wranglings. The mediators of worship are formed within the mind. Therefore, the Lord is merciful even to the women, Shudras and Dvajapandhus, provided they agree to visit the temple of worship in different forms made for them.
See, we have to understand one important factor is people are not overall attracted towards the Lord. And Kunti Maharani is trying to, glorify the Lord the way beautifully Lord is looking. Lord is called as Stuti Priya. Why is called as Stuti Priya? आप लोगों में अच्छा लगता है ना अगर मैं आप लोगों की स्तुति करूँ. हाँ, आप लोग और थोड़ा और बढ़िया और थोड़ा हमारे बारे में अच्छा बोलिए जरा. तो इज लॉर्ड लाइक दैट? व्हाई इज कॉल्ड as Stuti Priya? What is Kunti Maharani trying to just flatter God? मस्का पॉलिश, जो अपना जनरल लैंग्वेज में जो कोलोकियल चीप लैंग्वेज में क्या बोलते हैं, मस्का मारते हैं ना भगवान को. क्या is she doing that? Is Bhishma Pitama going to do that? Then what makes it different? Please understand, Glorifying the Lord means glorifying actually what He is. Speaking about what He is. If I go and tell the President of America, sir, all the atomic powers are in your hand, with one press of button the whole world may go up. It is not stuti. You are not giving a false praise. It's a fact. With the minute he wants, he presses one button and the whole world can have a nuclear war. I mean, whatever disaster can happen. So we are not. But if you and I go and talk to the Prime Minister or President of Pakistan, sir, you are very powerful. You are having the whole world atomic power is with you. This is not stuti. This is flattering. जो उनके पास नहीं है उसको आप अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि आपके अंदर वो कैपेसिटी है, आपके अंदर वो गुण है, तो आप उनका एक्चुअल ग्लोरिफिकेशन नहीं कर रहे हो, आप उनका चापलूसी कर रहे हो. यू आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू फ्लैटर दैट पर्सन. Whereas when you go and tell really, if you go so let's say a 6 foot 2 inch person comes, a tall person comes and tell, sir, you are really tall. Are we giving a false praise? No, he is really tall. So we praise him. That means what? We are talking about a quality which is existing in that person. So exactly. Whereas if a short person comes and says, sir, you are very tall. You are trying to flatter him. No, you are not looking short, you are looking tall. Then we are trying to flatter him, or we are not trying to give the actual picture. Whereas that's what makes Kunti prayers, all Acharyas prayers so special, because they are talking about actually what God is possessing. क्या भगवान के पास एक्चुअली है, हम उसके बारे में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. अगर भगवान का नेत्र लोटस की तरह है, हमारा कौवे जैसा है तो है. We have to accept that fact that we look like a donkey. मेंढक जैसी आंखें लेके घूम रहे हैं हम लोग. So this is what we have to understand. कि the limitations what we hold, we are trying to limit God also the same way. हम सोच रहे हैं हम ऐसे दिखते हैं तो भगवान भी, क्योंकि हम भगवान को हमारे स्तर पे लेके आते हैं. हम अपने आप को उस स्तर पे जा तो नहीं सकते, तो हम भगवान को नीचे स्तर पे लाते हैं. इसके लिए ऐसे भगवान मेरा काम कर देना, ये वो करके. दैट्स नॉट स्तुति. प्लीज़, भगवान मैं आपको एक नारियल चढ़ा दूंगा, नारियल का हार चढ़ाऊंगा, ये करूंगा, वो करूंगा. दिस इज नॉट व्हाट लॉर्ड वांट्स. दैट्स व्हाट यू सी एनी आचार्य सेइंग दैट मैं 101 का चढ़ावा करूंगा, मैं 501 का चढ़ावा करूंगा, नारियल का हार चढ़ा दूंगा. They are actually praising the Lord means what? Actually what quality is there in the Lord? They are trying to speak that without adding anything of their own. Please continue, Prabhu.
Such temple visitors are not idolaters as alleged by some men with a poor fund of knowledge. All the great acharyas established such temples of worship in all places just to favor the less intelligent, and one should not pose himself as transcending the stage of temple worship, while one is actually in the category of the Shudras and the women or less. One should begin to see the Lord from his lotus feet, gradually rising to the thighs, waist, chest and face. One should not try to look at the face of the Lord without being accustomed to seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. Srimati Kunti, because of her being the aunt of the Lord, did not begin to see the Lord from the lotus feet, because the Lord might feel ashamed, and thus Kunti, leaving just to save a painful situation for the Lord, began to see the Lord just above his lotus feet, that is from the waist of the Lord, gradually rising to the face, and then down to the lotus feet. In the round, everything there is in order.
So, Srila Prabhupada is concluding this with a small explanation that we are not supposed to start with the face and then go to the feet. We are supposed to take the darshan of the Lord from the feet to the face. Whereas here, being Kunti Maharani, she didn't want to put Krishna in an odd figure. A small young boy and an elderly lady starts praising, your lotus feet is very nice. He may not like it. So she is starting from the navel, going to the face and then coming down to the feet. So this is what we have to understand. So let's go to the next verse. यथा ऋषिकेश खलेन देवकी कम से रुद्धार्थी चिरम सुचार्पिता विमोचित हम से सहज आत्मदेव विभो त्वयेन अर्थे मुहुर विपद गणात्. Yes, read the translation. Someone reads the translation.
O Rishikesh,
Master of the senses of the lords of lords, you have realized you have
Released.
your mother, Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers.
So she is just recollecting what all from birth, what activities Lord did. The very first thing is Lord released the people from problem. So on the first place, the question arises, why should we very first, when, just imagine, अगर आपका कोई रिलेटिव मोदी जी होता या कोई रिलेटिव होता, would you expect a problem to come? You will make sure that before the problem comes, you are out of it. And did Devaki, Vasudev or any of the Pandavas complain, you have put us in problem, you are taking us out, so what's so great about it? How that very first place, how could that problem come in our life? Mother of Krishna suffering in the jail. From the day one she is suffering in the jail. The day she got married, she has not even slept with her husband. वो आकाशवाणी हो गई कि भाई 8वां गर्भ. And very nice आचार्य से Kamsa बार बार रथ में लेके, without slippers, without wearing slippers, Kamsa was taking the ratha of his sister to leave the neighboring kingdom. And every time he used to look around, the driver always sits ahead. So he used to look around and see Devaki and smile at her. इतना खुश होता था. So this is how worldly love is. If someone looks at you and smiles at you, I am yours, I am yours, I am yours, and one Akashvani comes, I am your enemy. There he catches her hair and goes to kill her. Just imagine, कितना swing. Could that sister ever imagine? जो भाई मुझे बार बार देख रहा है, खुश हो रहा है मेरे शादीशुदा होने के ऊपर, मेरे मतलब so happy on his loving sister. The same fellow showed a 180-degree turn, and the minute that Akashvani came, and the Akashvani also says very nicely, "Oh Mudha." कहते हैं आचार्यगण कहते हैं वो सभा में कोई ऊपर सुन के घूम के देखा नहीं, सिर्फ कमसा ए मूढ़ा बोला तो वो घूम के देखा, because he was a fool. He was a fool. And who is a fool? Of course, this will discuss tomorrow's lecture. Will discuss. So he says, he looks ahead and says, "Muda बोला तो मुझे बोल रहे हैं वो लोग." Then he looks up and then he says, "You have 8 sisters, 8 son is going to be your kala, ashtama garbha, आपका काल होने वाला है." So immediately he turns around to kill her. So here it is said, "O master of the senses, you have released your mother from long imprisonment." She was long imprisoned, not that it was only for a small time. काफ़ी लंबे टाइम तक चल रहा था. 6 के 6 बच्चे मर गए आँख के सामने, फिर भी कुछ नहीं बोले. 6 के 6 बच्चे मर गए, फिर भी she was bearing all the pain. अच्छा, अब बच्चे भी बच सकते थे. कौन मरवाया? नारद ने. कौन सा अष्ट है बोल सकते हो? अष्ट में ये भी हो सकता है, वो भी हो सकता है. आचार्य से, अच्छा तो मैं मार दूं? तो ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. Narad Muni says, I am not saying this. That is for you to decide. Then he goes and kills the first child. So he does. Narad Muni says, I don't want to take the sin of telling, yes, you killed him. But I am telling that it can be any one of the 8 children. It can be anyone, can be the 8th one. Consider the first one or the last one, we don't know. So he kills. So it is said that for all the trouble, finally, how did Krishna? He relieved her of her pains. Similarly, she is comparing herself with Devaki. Even for all the problems what they underwent, be it Lakshagara, be it be the Mahabharata Yuddha or anything whichever it went. And then the next verse, she mentions the list of all the things which happens. That is Vishma Mahagane Purushad Darshanat अथ सभाया वनवास कृच्यद मृदे मृदे अनेक महारथास्ततो द्रोणश्च अस्मे अभिरक्षितः. ऑल द क्या क्या उनके साथ अत्याचार हुआ, शी मेंशंस इन द नेक्स्ट वर्स. सो शी इज जस्ट क्रिएटिंग द प्रिल्यूड फॉर द नेक्स्ट प्रेजिंग व्हाट शी इज गोइंग टू डू. यहाँ पे क्या कह रही है, जैसे आपने आपके मैया को आपने बचाया है उसी तरह आपने मुझे भी, और कहाँ कैसे बचाया, फ्रॉम द एनवियस कमसा, me and my children from a series of danger. Now what is the series of danger will come in the next verse. Okay, read the purport and then we will close the class today.
Devaki, the mother of Krishna and sister of King Kamsa, was put into prison along with her husband Vasudev because the envious king was afraid of being killed by Devaki's eighth son Krishna. The king killed all the sons of Devaki who were born before Krishna, but Krishna escaped the danger of child slaughter because he was transferred to the house of Nand Maharaj, Lord Krishna's foster father. Kunti Devi, along with her children, was also saved from series of dangers, but Kunti Devi was shown far more favor because Lord Krishna did not save the other children of Devaki, whereas he saved the children of Kunti Devi. This was done because Devaki's husband Vasudev was living, whereas Kunti Devi was a widow, and there was none to help her except Krishna. The conclusion is that Krishna bestows more favor upon a devotee who is in greater dangers. Sometimes he put his pure devotees in such danger because in that condition of helplessness, the devotee becomes more attached to the Lord. The more the attachment is there for the Lord, the more success is there for the devotee. Devaki, the devotee who became the mother of Krishna, was not an ordinary woman. After all, who can become the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Krishna agrees to become the son only to the most advanced devotee. In their previous lives, Devaki and her husband underwent severe austerities, and when Krishna therefore appeared before them, wanting to give them a benediction, they told him that they wanted a son like God. But where can there be another person equal to God? This is not possible. God is asamordhya. That is, no one can be equal to all greater than him. There cannot be any competition. One cannot say, I am God, you are God, he is God, we all are God. No one says one who says this is a dog, not God. For God is great and he has no competitor. No one is equal to him. Equal is low, everyone is lower.
1 minute. See, what is Srila Prabhupada giving explanation is how Devaki and Vasudev, the earlier life, they worshipped Drona and Dhara. They worshipped Lord to have a child, and they said when Lord appeared, they said, I want a child like you. Like you, bola to there is nothing like God. There is only one thing. Like you and like me, there may be nine number of people, but there can be no one like God. So Lord appeared himself. But even on his appearing, he is not saying that bhai aapka problems will solve. So please don't be under the misconception कि भक्ति करने से मेरे प्रॉब्लम्स चले जाएंगे. ये मत सोचना, प्रॉब्लम्स रहेंगे. इनफैक्ट भक्तों के साथ प्रॉब्लम था तभी भगवान ज़्यादा आए. एंड इनफैक्ट व्हाट डज Prabhupada say that in times of danger or in times of difficulties, it is a devotee who has more conviction on God, who gets more. It is there are two types of people. Now once one person was there saying, I was a very big devotee of the God. बहुत मैं हर व्रत करता था, हर पूजा करता था, सब करता था, मगर मेरा बच्चा मर गया. तब से मैंने पूजा पाठ छोड़ दिया. ठीक है, आपका बच्चा मरा, ठीक है, इट्स अ वेरी सैड थिंग. But what has that got to do? Is there any condition in devotion that when I will be doing devotion, you have to protect my child, nothing will happen to my child? When Krishna's own brothers got killed, Devaki did not complain to Krishna, what are you, what a nonsense you are, what type of God you are, you could not save your own brothers, you could not save my children, and you are expecting the whole world to pray to you. Don't say that. Because, please understand, that child has his own prarabdha karmas. Every child is born with his own prarabdha karmas. So, nowhere it is mentioned that by doing devotion, आपके प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएंगे. डोंट बी अंडर द इम्प्रेशन. लॉर्ड विल बी बिसाइड यू, स्टैंडिंग एंड प्रोटेक्टिंग यू. इट्स अ वेरी ओल्ड स्टोरी, बट इट्स अ वेरी नाइस स्टोरी. वंस वन पर्सन डाइस, गोज अप, तो वहाँ जाके भगवान को मिले. भगवान तूने को धोखा दिया, तो बोला जीवन भर मेरे साथ रहेगा. कितना प्रॉब्लम्स आया मेरे जीवन में, तो वो मेरा साथ रहा क्या? तो उसने बोला देख, आई विल शो यू द पाथ. ग्राफ दिखाया ऊपर से. सी एवरीवेयर देयर आर 4 footprints, 2 of yours, 2 of mine. So everywhere I have been with you. Lord, that is all okay. See that patch, see that patch, see that patch. They were the worst time of my life, and there is only 1 pair of footprints. 2 pair of footprints नहीं है, तो एक ही 2 पैर ही दिख रहे हैं. मतलब कोई एक ही था और मैं ही चल रहा था. तो भगवान ने बोला सॉरी, डोंट थिंक यू आर वॉकिंग दैट टाइम, आई वॉज कैरिंग यू इन माई हैंड. दैट इज वेयर योर बैड पैच वॉज. तो आपके बुरे समय में ये मत सोचना कि आप बुरे समय को काट रहे हो. भगवान आपका बुरे समय में आपका साथ लेके आपको गोद में लेके चल रहे हैं. एंड वंस दैट बैड टाइम इज ओवर ना, हम भी बोलते हैं भगवान को छोड़ छोड़, लेट मी एंजॉय this material world. We want to enjoy, no? My bad patch is over, my good time starts. So कौन तू कौन मैं? So that's why Lord says, don't say that I have never been with you. I've always been with you. In fact, Lord is there with us in each and every living entity. Every body has a Lord is there. अगर भगवान बोले जाओ, भगवान जाओ, टुप, you are dead. The minute Lord leaves your body, Paramatma leaves the body, you are dead. So where is the question of any independency without God? God is there everywhere, but He has given us free will, free choice. आपको जो करना है करो, नहीं करना है मत करो. भक्ति करना है करो, नहीं करना है मत करो. Saturday evening, a number of options. You can come to class, you can listen to Bhagavatam, you can go for a nice restaurant, you can go for a movie, you can go for seeing IPL. आजकल वो चल रहा है ना. So various things, options are there. One of the options is coming to the temple and doing devotion. It is not a compulsion, it's an option. Because love has to be given free will. Without free will, one cannot love God. Okay, with this we'll close today's lecture. We'll continue the next verse next time. Okay, anybody has got any doubts, questions, can ask. किसी का कोई प्रश्न है, कुछ doubts है तो पूछ सकते हैं.